Thank you, Aman. Yes, my name is Amar Mundi again, and I've been into financial industry in my past life, I call it, because coming to Experior turned out to be a whole new game in my life. It was another stepping stone. I worked in BMO Bank's wealth site called Nesbitt Burns in downtown Calgary for a few years. I was administrator there, but trust me, when I come here looking at the financial side, like Aman said, literally was a zero information provided. So you can tell, like, if employees are not told things, the inside information, how can a client can expect that, right? In 2021, thanks to my trainer, Madhav Jalal, he introduced me. We were friends for a very long time. But I'll tell you one thing. We've been friends since 2014. You've been in contact with me, but when the right time comes, only then your brain start thinking and your ears start listening. So I'll tell you one thing, don't wait for that moment. Open your ears today. Make your mind think today. Don't wait for those 7 long years like I did. So start today. If you're coming here is a first time or is a second time maybe, or some of us are like I can see some faces new, like some timers. They're still not confirmed that they're gonna make up their mind into this business. I'll tell you one thing, just give it a go. And for that, with the Experior, I'll quickly do a BTO presentation, which is very important to start our business. BTO, as many of you know or may not know, is called brand timing and ownership, right? So how does that work? I will share the screen with you today. Just give me a moment. Sorry, just bear with me one moment. I think host is not letting me. Hey.
Can you stop sharing? Yeah.
Sorry, we are now very tech savvy here.
You can do that.
All right. I hope on Zoom you guys can see my screen. If you could confirm, please.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So as you can see on the screen, Experior Financial Group, this is what we are part of, right? And I'll tell you one thing, I'm very proud that I made this decision every single day. Yes, I'm working super hard, but then end of the day, I know my hard work will eventually pays off. That is very important. And how does Experior helps me? We need to understand this picture. I was discussing with Madhav, like everybody has their own interpretation on this one. But it was really strong statement what my trainer made is like if you look on the right side, this one single person raising his hand, asking or seeking help. This was me back in 2021. And that's where the Madhav, he's like, don't worry, I'm here to help you, assist you. Because he had more help and support from his trainers. If you look in the back, one person, it's very hard to pull up another person because of the weight, equal weight, if you see, right, in a layman's term. But if you look at there, so many people behind him who were supporting him at the same time. And guess what happened? When this chain start going on and on, one day will come on the left side when you see this single person, he's an independent, he's making money when everybody else is helping everybody else. So we all want to be that person one day. So Experior, what is Experior? So, right, so it's an MGA. We are part of that. MGA, we call it Managing General Agency, or in USA, it's called IMO. If you have some friends or family across the border, you can connect with them. Don't confuse them with the MGA word. They might be more knowledgeable with the word IMO. So this company was founded in 2014. And like I was told, it's crossed 6,000 licenses. Because my previous slide, I had just 5,000. So you can see when we say it's the fastest growing agency, it is true. And it's a first Canadian company. You know how we always look at those big corporations coming from down south border to Canada, but we are so proud in Canada, being Canadians, that we are the first part of this company, and this company is the one that moved to USA. And we have a head office in Gulf in Ontario. I'm sure many of us who've been to Brampton know about this area. And of course, in USA, it's in New York, Buffalo. Our mission statement. See, if when we join in a company, we want to know what exactly they do, right? We can elaborate so many things, but everything comes down to those couple of lines. You know how those big companies, they have their taglines, and those taglines are not just there to advertise or brag about. We need to know that, do they really value that? And at Experior, this is what we do, and every single word, we vouch it and we work on it. It says building financial foundations for families to empower them today and leave a legacy for tomorrow. So seems like we are not leaving a single day that we're not going to be covering up. So remember this, being part of this business, we need to make sure we are very compliant on that. So you need to know that when you join this business, we need to have a license. So in here, we are fully government licensed to do business all across North America. If you see all the provinces in Canada, all the 50 states, and Puerto Rico. Why Puerto Rico? I'm mentioning it. I know even though it's part of USA, but it's only recently we've been able to make movement over there in Puerto Rico for business, which shows that our leaders, when they promised us that we're gonna go out of Canada and across the globe, and it is happening. And what does that going to make the difference? That we not gonna have any limitations or income. It's up to us how much income we want to generate, because when we are going global. We need to understand we are into financial industry or we talk money. The key contributors to entire financial system. It has been summarized down to these three giants. Those are banks, those are insurance companies, those are investment companies. These three will cover everything up. Trust me. And you know the beauty? Experior is a business partner with all these three. So this gives us this confidence that we can cover every single part of it. And we need to understand, so we got part of all these, so what exactly happens here, right? Experior, we all talk about Experior Financial. Yes, with the financial, as a human, we try to Google search or we try to make up a mind, okay, what exactly is going to happen there? Couple of things, right? But then we need to realize what exactly happens here. We do protection of paychecks and maintaining the lifestyle. It's very important. You know, like you've seen around on your WhatsApp group or in your friend circle, people sending, oh, so and so person passed away or a student died. Okay, we are doing fundraiser, right? What do we do? Oh, please click this link on GoFundMe, right? I don't want to sound rude, but I'll be very upfront. You know, putting your family's information and asking for money is literally, in my books, is putting a hand like this and begging for money. How many of us are comfortable? One of these days, one of our friends or families or us come across this situation, we are part of that, right? If we are not, this is what we do to avoid all these things. We do life insurance. We do disability insurance to cover up your paychecks. And the living benefit. I know some people say life insurance, okay, if I die, my family will get it. Yes, we are working for our families. But critical illness is something living benefit. While I'm alive, I can access the money. Health and dental drug plans. Some of us are working in some big companies where we have already those coverages, dental and medical coverages there. But being part of this business, we are on the other side where we are providing these policies. And super visa, a majority of us are immigrants. We understand the value of super visa and visitor visa and travel visa, right? So how important it is. But all we do is, okay, we call so and so person, okay, this is the information of my parents, provide us. But here at Experior, we explain all those fine prints, which are very important. Not many people tell. We just go and sign it. This is the difference we are trying to create here. And of course, final funeral. This is the reality of life. Recently, I have come across my sister's mother-in-law passed away. So it was my first close encounter in this country where we had to go through funeral expenses, right? And I'll tell you, uh, my sister's in-laws, they did one good thing. They had certain age when they come here, they were not able to get the life insurance, but they did had funeral insurance. When I see her on the deathbed, she was telling me that, my kids don't need to worry. We have got a funeral coverage. It's 2 days before the death. And she was talking in such a confident way, right? Which made me realize that somebody who gave her this, how clearly they explained to her that about death. Nobody wants to talk, it's a taboo. But here, it's a practical, right? And of course, when we cover our today and protection for tomorrow, we also want to know what happens with the money, right? Very important. RESPs, I'm sure some of us who already have kids or who have friends who have kids around, we need to learn about RESP. Education, we covered that part when kids go to colleges or universities. We covered that part. RSPs, TFSAs, FHSAs. And now I know some of us might have this doubt in our head. Okay, this guy is talking about RESP. We already know this. My account is with the bank. Yes, good. I'm going to congratulate you that you've done something. At least you're thinking outside the box. But when I talk to some of the parents, they say, "Oh, we have RESP open. We are putting full 2,500 in the bank," and they do hands like this. I said, "Okay, that means as a parent you've done your job." But I'll tell you one thing: you've done only 50% of your job. It's your hard-earned money, and you're putting money towards your kids. That means you have a responsibility towards your kids. You have done this, it's only 50%. Why? Because you don't know what money is going to do in the bank. Averagely 4 to 6% returns are coming. We need to understand that part. This is why we are here today, to educate people. Are you happy with 4 to 5% or that 10, 12, 14% returns that actually happens in the market? But nobody tells us. This is the reason they need to come and connect with us. So this is what we're going to teach our clients. But of course, we're going to learn for ourselves too. And all these above accounts, if you see, they are registered accounts. That means they have a limitations in the contribution. If we have more money, what do? Are we going to leave them in the saving? No, we have non-registered accounts where we can invest that money. And of course, your retirement plans. We think, okay, a retirement plan is for 65. I've worked with this company, money is sitting in those funds, that's it. But no, let's work on that money too. Remember, we need to make sure money makes money. And of course, sometime when we are in that position of life, we need to understand how banks make money. They make money from others' money, our money. So why don't we use that strategy in our life too? So we can learn that too. And of course, generational wealth transfer strategies, very, very important. As you know, recently, federal government raised the capital gain tax from 50% to 66.67%. I was reading somewhere, I know people are complaining today, but back in days, that used to be 75%. I know it's not good, but we need to work around that. And of course, when you look at the word referral program, all those first two columns we read, okay, these are the services we can provide with our license. But at the same time, we have some opportunity with Experior Financial where we can do referral programs. Because, one person cannot do everything. You cannot master everything. So where we cannot, Experior has provided this platform. We can send mortgage referrals, HELOC collateral, home and auto, commercial insurances, pet insurance, everyday banking. If you look all these informations, we have partners with other companies where we provide the clients information and they give the top range service to those clients of ours, right? And of course, we get referrals. You know, the beauty about this one is you don't need to get a license to make money on this side. Isn't that a beauty of this? And of course, additional services. We also provide estate planning. In this country, trust me, if you do not have estate planning done, everything I know, people say, oh, we'll go to court, they will take the money. No, they will decide for us. How would you like your money, somebody else making decision when you're gone? Don't you think we need to take control of that? So if we make wills, this is as at Experior, we help our clients to make wills, estate planning. So we have healthcare directives. I know some of us people haven't even heard of these, but trust me, part of Experior, part of financial industry, this is what we do. We help families. And of course, tax strategies, the most important. I always talk, I said, I'm not here to tell you or teach you how to evade taxes. It's illegal. I don't do it. I don't promote it. But there are certain ways, staying within legal terms or legalities of CRA, you can save taxes. Those are the strategies, trust me, being an accountant, they can just tell you how to file taxes, but they're not going to tell you how to save taxes. But Experior, we teach those too. And of course, when we talk about insurance partners, so you need to understand, we just don't do like copy paste one product and to everybody. No, we have such a wide range. And I'm sure some of the names you must have heard of. And if I go with the Manulife, you know Manulife, it's one of the oldest company. It's actually older than Canada itself. That's how old that company is. You can see how strong that company is. At Experior, we are so proud that company is partnered with us with full contract. And of course, when we talk about investments, that's another some of the names. If you look a couple of names, might not be familiar because we have gone to USA, like I mentioned. So some are the from across the border. You know, Fidelity and BlackRock, they themselves hold pretty much 70% of world economy in the background, which we don't even see. So we feel proud that we are partnered with them. You know, recently there was a survey done about 100 people who turned 65. Let's assume all of us turned 65 today. So how do we see ourselves? There was, when the survey was done, you know, what was found? That 54% of those 65-year-old are still dependent. Like, I'll tell myself, my parents, they live with us. They are dependent on us, right? And 36% are still working. You know, sometimes, like when I moved to this country, and especially at Shoppers or some other places, I saw some old people working. So my wife and I, we were talking, and she was like, "Oh wow, look at these people, the spirit. They are still working at this age. They are not sitting." And our parents, they get old, you know, brown families, how they are. Not everybody, right? And you know what? I realized those 36%, you know why they are working? Because they cannot afford to stay home. They did not have proper financial planning, which means at 65, they still have to work part-time or sometime to pay their bills. House is free, but property tax bill is still coming. Electricity bill is still coming. They have to eat food. So that means some of us, people like us, were not there in their life at the right time to help them to make those decisions for them so they could retire properly. And 5%, they too sad to say, but they didn't make it to 65. But when you look at Canadian economy, only 4% of Canadians who are okay. You know, when we say 1 million plus, I know where I'm signing today, 1 million seems wow. But trust me, when you get into this financial industry, when you learn how money works, how it compounds, 1 million sounds very, very a miniature word. So that's where the word written is okay. Only 4% Canadians are okay financially. But guess what? 1% Canadians who are wealthy at age 65. And if you pass on the top two numbers, those 54% who are dependent, or those 36%, if you like add them up, it turns out to be 90% of Canadians at age 65. What happens? They fail in their financial life. They might be good parents, they might be very good grandparents, giving nuggets and knowledge about their experiences. But what about financial, the most important part? They cannot talk on that. They cannot make comment. Nobody's asking for them. They say, you're still, like, sorry to say, in today's time, we call them losers. With respect, we don't want to say it, but that's the reality, right? I could be one of them if I had not taken a decision at the right time. And guess what? Why we can't say losers to them? Because there was a problem. It was not their problem. There was no financial education provided, or there was no platform. Some of the doctors, engineers, they worked, they got the degrees, they made all the money, but nobody told them how to be smart with the finance. No education. My sister, she did masters in commerce. Trust me, she was not talked about this. And of course, even though you have some information, but nobody talks about blueprint about you. Okay, that you're gonna be retiring in so and so time. We need to make a blueprint. Here at Experior, we provide that kind of information. And of course, all this information cannot be transferred to the next generation or the people around us. The very reason there is no financial coach. Everybody tries to be financial advisor. They are here to sell products, but not to advise, not to coach. A teacher, when teacher teaches, they do not expect anything from the client. So when we have Experior branding backing us and we sit with our clients, this is what we do. We just give them information. It's up to client that what do they want to do with it. So with this comes a $1 million question, right? Where do you want to see yourself in your retirement? Those top two numbers or the bottom two, right? With me, I'm sure my whole target is 1%. I don't want to settle for less because I've found something where I can achieve this. Trust me, it's a practical number. I'm not here that because my trainer or his trainer pumped me up, did all the clapping for me. No, it's practicality that I'm talking here. I have kids. I cannot live in a la la land. Trust me. So for that, we need to understand how the cash flow works. I call it in my past life. That's employment. I joined this business, of course, with the business, only one negative thing comes. I don't say negative, but the thing is, I become unemployable, right? Which I'm not sorry about, trust me. So with the employment, we all have been there, or some of us are still here. We need to understand what happens there. It requires actively to work in there, in that environment. We work for somebody, right? We feel so proud. My wife worked for almost 10 years at TD. She worked super hard. Her bosses, they were like, oh, it's a one-man show. In the whole Northern Territory, 36 TD branches, she was like number one in what she was doing. But guess what? She was still working for TD. She was going to work, right? Paying for her gas and insurance of car and everything, but she cannot write off her tax, right? Same thing for majority of us. Can we do that? No, we cannot. And is there control over time and money? No, we don't, right? We go to work, how Western culture, I won't just say Canadian, is a hire and fire. We cannot control that. Doesn't matter how many years you've been working with the company, a day will come, with the corporate giants, I've been part of them. Corporate giants, what they do, if you see all the majority banks, they make $3 to $4 billion every quarter. When people say, oh, this company might go into, or bank goes into loss, no, they don't talk about loss. They look at the side that, okay, 4 billion is the targeted profit. If that profit goes 2 million short, how do I do? They will remove all the coffee machines from all the banks. They will fire few people. So that 2 million can be recovered. They never lose. And we become so serious for these companies. Oh, I'm dedicated. This employer looks after us. It doesn't work that way. And of course, like I mentioned, is there future security? I doubt highly in today's time. Just yesterday, I was reading to the news, it's 6.2 or some percentage of unemployment, 7 years high, right? When we see that 22,000 jobs were added in July, even then, this is what the number is. Are we still looking at this? Are we still waiting? No, no, job is very good. I cannot quit. I cannot afford to quit. Okay, one of these days when they fire you, what are you going to do? And of course, then we look at the self-employed, right? Some of us, yes, we need doctors and lawyers. Yes, I understand that part. But us, when we look at that, we need to look at the other side of this too. They still need active income. They need to work over there to make money. If a lawyer, he doesn't go to office and he's sitting in Mexico vacationing, do you think client comes to his office and he's been told by the receptionist, oh, lawyer is not in, but he still pays? No, he's not going to get paid. They're, of course, it's a self-employed. They have a sole corporations or corporations where they can write off their taxes, which is a good thing, right? But do they have control over time and money? I don't think so. I've seen doctor's profession has been like, yes, respectful. I get that. But with the money, yes, they make good money. But remember, time came. I know even if it's 100-year pandemic, COVID time, even doctors were sitting at home. So times change. We cannot control. Future security, look at those times. We cannot control. There is absolutely no security on that. And then comes the business owner, my favorite part. Why is so? We make money. Money make work, right? This is what it is. We make that work. We need to learn how the money works for us. This is what we learn and we teach. And we don't need to go to work to make money. This is the beauty. Warren Buffett once said his tagline that the day you learn money to start working for you when you're sleeping is the day you're going to be on a path to be richness. Otherwise, the opposite of that, if you don't make money work for you when you're sleeping, you're going to be working till you turn 65 or till you die. So now decision is ours. What decision is yours? What do we want to do? And of course, when we open our outlets, I'm talking here is about the businesses. A prime example we always look around is a Costco. I know how expensive it is, but still we all go to Costco. It's a mind.
اه بساعات تغفل.
Yeah, somebody is excited about Costco, I guess. Right. So look at the Costco. The guy who owns Costco, do you think he goes to work? Or he works on a mindset or sitting with his team, how I can open more outlets, right? So this is what the business owners do. And of course, then comes the elite of all, investors. They go one step ahead. They put their saved money into action. They don't want to open another Costco. They still don't want to like, okay, I open a Costco. There's still a headache, right? They still have to get up early in the morning, get all that report. So we need to go a step ahead, right? And make money. How? With compounding. You know how Aman mentioned about me that I've worked in Nesbitt Burns downtown? Trust me, I never heard the word compounding. And here I was dealing with the clients because to open an investment account at the place where I work, minimum book value was $3 million. We won't even cater anybody under it, right? But as an employee, I was never mentioned about the word compounding or rule of 72. I'm sure some of you guys are more intelligent than me who have already heard of this. This is the important part. And of course, build a legacy. It's very important. Majority of us, we work hard, but then we work more hard, even harder. Why? Because when we work hard, we put food on table. But why do we work more hard? So we could leave something for our next generation as well, leaving a legacy. So that's what we need to work on. And if you look at the left side, what happens here? It requires active presence. If you're not there, you're not going to make money. right? I have an office in Savannah. If I am working in this side, if I'm not there now, I'm not making any money. But look on the right side. This is where I belong, and this is where I want to be. I should have been long time ago, but that's okay. Cash flow comes with or without you. Most of us have heard of this, like Baljit went on vacation to India for so long, our mother went to Nepal. He was meditating, right? He was meditating, closing his eyes, and he was just what he was doing, just calmness. Nowhere in his head was dollar, thing happening. But guess what? In his bank account in Canada, that's what was happening. Money was keep pouring, keep pouring. Don't you think it's an exciting thing we all want, right? And do you think that Baljit ji or Mr. Madhav, they have a magic wand that they do this and everybody else is just waiting for them to share their wealth with us, or they are teaching us or giving us this equal opportunity where we can have all this, right? So if you look at the back on this, right, those two sides, we have a very big question again. Where do we want to see ourselves in next 5 to 10 years? What has happened. But we look at the future now. Where do you see yourself? With the left side or the right side? And if we are doing jobs or into some businesses, are we going to achieve those goals? This is another big question we need to ask. So we need to understand, if we think of the right side, this is where we're going to achieve. So if we want to do that, it's very simple. I know screen looks black, but all the fancy stuff comes in a black color, right? We need to learn. Here at Experior, we are extending this opportunity to you guys. Personal growth. You can come and you can learn. That opportunity, being an employee in those big companies, in the financial companies, were not given this option or opportunity. But here, we provide this. Are you interested in a personal where we can learn about our situations and be better? Or we have a part-time opportunity available. This is where I started as a career. I was still working. I was doing 2 jobs, and yet I started part-time. Nobody forced me to quit everything and come full throttle. It was my decision. So we need to learn this part. Or, of course, the ultimate, how they always says, when you go to car wash, there's an ultimate that you don't need to mention. It covers everything. You don't need to think of the details. So when you say ultimate, both, it covers everything. You learn for yourself and then you teach others. How good is that, right? So when you do this, and of course, we talk about business opportunity, right? And when we talk business, the only thing rings bell in our head, oh, business, it's a risky thing. Oh my God, how much money I need to invest? I don't have that kind of money. Majority of us who are still working today, why so? Because with the moment somebody tells us about business opportunity, we step back. Why? Because we think, okay, now he's gonna say, oh, you have to bring so much cash inflow, and then we're gonna do, right? And let's cover up those questions over here today. How much time will it take? Remember, it's your business. It's up to you. In my case, I'll give you an example. I started this business, and within 6 months, I quit my job. I went full time in this. Because it's up to you how fast you want to go. Do you have enough time to waste in your life, or you want to go full time and that's it, done with that? And is there a market to serve? You know how we checked everything, those current benefits and the services we provide? You tell me, any of those services do we not seek? Do we not have TFSA? So who's our client? I myself is my first client, and then comes my family, and then my friends. So you tell me, is it very hard to find clients? I doubt that. And who is going to help us with the knowledge? Yes, with the study part, because remember we mentioned that it's a license we need to have. We have a license, we have books to read and online programs, but with the practical knowledge, my trainer supported me. You know what he gave an example and what I tell my further clients or team members? I said, when you learned ABC when you were like 4, 5 years old, when you first time you wrote ABC, did you write on your own with a pencil or somebody held your hand? Of course, somebody held a hand, even though I have a big memory. This kind of like support system we have here at Experior. And how big is the risk? You know how risk is? Risk is directly connected with money part. How big of investment? Isn't that true? So how do we cover that part? Very simple. Now you tell me, $150, not a single cent or 2 cents, it's $150. I'm sure it's a huge amount, right? I can see some of you guys are raising your eyebrows. Is it that it's 150 or is it just under 50? Right? Don't you think? And guess what? That little red line down there, trust me, when I joined, it was not there. So specials happening in Experior. How lucky you guys are who are joining today. Once you get a license, that 150 goes back into your account. How good is that? Isn't that a beauty? And of course, you need to get a license, you need to study. Local government authorities in any of the provinces, they don't conduct courses on their own, but they have recruited some other companies whom they have affiliated. So to be part of that, it's about $230. It's not that big amount. If you go to university or college, you spend thousands and thousands of dollars. And guess what? One of my client, his son was sitting when I met them, and she was telling that my son went to school for 4 years for business college, right? He got his degree in business. And you know what he said the day he got his degree? He's like, I am going to photocopy my certificate and I'm going to cheer it because this is, I want to satisfy myself. He's like, if somebody taught me for 4 years business, what the hell that person is doing there? Teaching, making 100,000. Why is he not there doing his own business? So we need to learn this practical thing. And of course, back office fee. It's $39. $39 when I was happy with everything. Then I asked trainer, I said like, okay, $39, okay, one time, one time. He's like, no, it's not one time. It's every month. And I become a little skeptical. Trust me, 39 every month. It's not big amount, but we don't want to have bills in our mindset. Some of us are like that. We don't want every month something happening. But then guess what happened? This is what he explained. When I look at all this information over here, I realize $39 is like peanuts for what I'm going to make out of this business. This is a mindset we need to realize, understand this power. And of course, why Experior for you? Another big question comes here. So we need to understand that part. We have a wide range of service providers. As you have seen that screen, it's not like just one company we brag and we do that because they provide us good commission and all. No, we keep our clients at number one, their priorities, right? We're not talking about ourselves first. We want to make sure our clients, our families, they are served better. And of course, we have a building potential, as you've already seen, how the business works. The training today, you know how that starts? The big B is this. And of course, T is that big timing. Very, very crucial. We all know about the time, but we do not value. Trust me, I was not one of them. But till then, when I realized the importance, life changed. And of course, the ownership. You know how I mentioned, I gave you example of my wife working 10 years in TD, super hard, working 7 days. Because she was so pro. If somebody calls at 9 o'clock, oh, we are doing closing, we are not able to balance. At bank, you cannot close the bank if we do not balance end of the day, even 1 cent. They would call her and she would tell on back of her hand what exactly they need to do over the phone. And she was so proud. But guess what? End of the day, she was making TD more rich. What about us? Nothing in there other than those little bonuses. But here the beauty is you have ownership of your business, all the hard work you do. And of course, unlimited income potential. Isn't this something we all crave for or we are excited for? And another thing, we are not just restricted to a quadrant of a town or a city or just a city or a province, but here all across Canada and USA. And of course, we're going to go global, like promised, because they are keeping promises. This is the beauty I'm really proud of. And if you look at, we need to understand the business model. When we part of Experior, how do we make money, right? We need to understand that part. So business provided by Experior, it's very simple, right? And of course, we need to get a license. So yeah, I'll just give you a simple example of Tim Hortons, right? Tim Hortons, if you like, it's a business, right? They give us a franchise. Yes. Can we open a door when we get a franchise? I doubt that because you need to get a food and handling license. Same thing with our industry. We need to get a license provided our local province or state to up to do the business, right? So when we go do that together, that's the day we open door for the business. And how do we do that? We need to make money in that part. So how we make money, we have opportunity to do personal production. This is where I started. First client was myself and my family. So I did business, I did life insurance, even for my mother, right? So I got 1 month upfront commission. We also call FIC. Some of you guys are aware of that. It's a 12 months commission coming together, right? And guess what happens after that? Month 13 comes, we start getting renewals. Remember the unlimited income we were talking about? This is a prime example of that. And money doesn't stop there. The opportunity. We have another opportunity. Some of us are big mindset. We have a friends around us who are very excited. They want to come and learn. Okay, yes, Summer, what are you doing, man? It's different. I see your posts are different, your lifestyle is different. So I want to learn more about it. What do you do? You know, our friends are curious. When you're successful or getting to success, they want to learn more. So that's where that team building comes in picture. Same thing happens here. When they do the business, we get the commission and the money. This is how we generate revenue here. We don't need to sell anything. We need to help families, right, to be independent. And of course, remember we talk about share ownership. This is another big thing that attracted to me, especially to this particular MGA called Experior, was the share ownership, where we get the share, we become a shareholder, and of course, the volume bonus. Recently, Experior announced this volume bonus. So it's not like you started doing business, you started making money, and now you slow down. No. If you build your business, make more volume, you make money, but yet you get bonuses on top. And of course, the start point, we get the license. Very simple. There's no brainer. It's not rocket science, right? We get a license and we start the process. Of course, the stepping stone is a financial associate. And then we get a promotion. Why do we get promotion? Why do we want to get a promotion at a job, right? If you're a supervisor, why do you want to become a manager? You know, your responsibilities go up, but yet you want to take that extra responsibility, those few extra minutes at the work before and after. Why? Now you're going to get paid more. Same thing happens here. So we do more. And of course, end of the day, you become executive director. Why this part is very important? You actually become shareholder of the company, a big step to move forward. Of course, we have more opportunities and the beauty of this business, very important. You know, if I become a doctor today and at 18, my son or daughter wants to be a doctor, of course, because I want them to be. So now they need to go to study 8 years, 10 years, get that degree, start working. But at 18, I give my certificate to my child. Here, I'm a doctor, I'm making so and so money, you start tomorrow. But no, here at Experior with this business model, we have this opportunity. I can actually gift my code, my business to my kids. They will start from the same position with the same bank account. Not the account, but the inflow. Because I don't want to share my bank account with them. They need to work hard too, right? Don't you think? Or let's say kids are kids. There are chances they will say, Dad, this is your business. I'm not interested. I might want to be a YouTuber or a gamer or something, right? That might happen. So now you're gonna be get stuck. Okay, what do I do? My legacy, my kids, they're gonna follow. You know how back in days, great grandparents, they were into farming. Every generation was doing farming. And then look at my dad. He left home. He went to big city. He didn't to get into business, same as me, right? I'm a different businessman. So we have opportunity here. We can actually sell the business, the book of business back to Experior. You know the beauty? It's legal, right? And what do we say all about this? And as you can see at the bottom, I'll start again. If we can cover that part, it's a written contractual agreement. You know, when my trainer was talking about this before showing this, he paused and I looked at him. I was like, come on, man. Because we were friends, we were talking casual at the same time. Like, I think you're bragging too much, right? Oh, I will get this business way, my kids will get the legacy, or I can sell the business, right? You just want to be in, right? All the sugar coating. That's where the thing comes. Is like it's a written contractual agreement. And most of us who have joined Experior signed those AOA agreements. Trust me, go back and read those fine prints. It is written there. So this is where the confidence comes when we start something. And of course, today we were talking about branding. How important branding is, we all know. If you look all these pictures, I'm sure most of the names, just the pictures, you can relate, right? And if you look at world's largest accommodation provider, Airbnb, we need to understand the branding model and the experience how we stand here, right? They don't own a single room in any of the hotels anywhere, but still they are so successful in the hotel industry, accommodation industry. And most valuable retailer is Alibaba from China, right? So do they make us any product? They don't. But yet they are so big. And again, with the taxi companies, right? Uber, Lyft, all those companies, they don't even know a single car, but yet they are so successful. And world's most powerful media, it's a Facebook. Do they sell anything? Do they make on a conveyor belts anything? No, they don't. And of course, fastest growing financial service company in Canada, but going to be across the globe. This is what the mission is. And I can vouch for that, that it is going to be one day. Which company is that? Sorry, I didn't let you guess any, because I'm sure everybody is smiling. They all know it's Experior. So we need to understand Experior. It does not sell any product. We don't have any insurance product, policies, or investments. We are the service providers. It's very important to understand, right? And the timing, very important. Timing is very important. Look at this big giant. So when we look at these big giants, what do they have done? They have talked about this. It's a being in the right place at the right time, doing something about it and make a decision. I could make a good decision, but then I wait for that to implement. Time has passed. It's not going to give the same information, same results. So we need to understand that. And of course, the ownership, right? You know how we said BTO? This is what the O stands for. It's the ownership of your client, ownership of your agency. We own our client from day one. This is the beauty. We need to realize that. And of course, ownership in our Experior. Like I mentioned, when you become ED, you become shareholder. So this is what we are talking here at Experior. I doubt if any of you are still have second thoughts in your mind. If you're brand new people over here today or second or third visit, trust me, it's about time to make a decision. It's a decision for your life to change and your future lives that in your families to happen, they will change. So now what you're waiting for, right? Let's connect with the people who brought us here today or our trainers or our EDs. Let's learn more about it and let's move forward. And with this, I will close today.
Thank you so much. Amarji, isn't that amazing?
Yes.
So I guys learned something new or the guest got more information, clarity, who's Experior, who we are, what we do, and how we help our families, and how we are here to change our community as well.
Yes.
So guys, here we will take 10 minutes break, because here as a guest, you have like everything fresh in your mind. And if you have any questions, you can ask the person who invited you, and or like if you are